text I got from my manager the day I got laid off. Hey, Justin, I just caught up with leadership. I'm sorry to hear about the situation and wish I was able to be there to share more insight. In this time of transition, I would love to be a resource for
Hold on, let's see
anything
how
you
many
need from
subs, bro. Got.
myself or my
Ain't no
network.
even matter about subs,
I
bro.
really enjoyed our time together
21K
and think
subs,
very
bro.
highly of your skills, experience,
I don't know.
and you as a person. Mm. Now I'll get to what led up to this happening, but it made me so sick to my stomach that I can no longer bear the thought of working for corporate America. So now this is how I'm trying to make a
I
living.
mean, we all there, my boy. We gotta get there somehow, buddy.
Hey everybody,
Take
welcome
time.
back to my YouTube channel. My name is Justin, and in today's video, we're going to be going... First, let me start off by saying that I don't hold anything against anybody that I've ever worked with or any company I've ever worked for. But over the past 10 years, I've witnessed things that I think qualifies me to say that corporate America has no soul. They have no human compassion. And they honestly can't. Because if you look at how exactly companies are run, they're all driven by earnings, profit and loss statements. And you as a person, I've always heard the phrase that you're just a number. When you work for a large organization,
you are, buddy, but
you're just a number.
It's up to you, buddy, to get up out of
And
that situation.
I
buddy.
always
Save
thought
your
that
money,
that
start a
meant
business or something.
that you're just an employee ID or you're just the 800th
That's just my
employee
take
in the
on the
company.
situation.
But over
Other people-
time,
Other people
what
have
I've learned
different
that
views about
means is you represent an expense. A company pays you a salary, and when they're looking at their profit and loss, when they're looking at their revenue projections, and if they are not as profitable as they want to be, or when they report things to their shareholders showing how profitable the company is, you represent the loss column because you're an expense. And the easiest way for an organization to become profitable or become more profitable is by eliminating expenses, eliminating people's jobs. And all of those decisions come from top line executives that don't even know that you exist. Now, look, I understand that when we sign an offer letter to join a company, in most cases, depending where you live, you're signing a contract that's at will, meaning that you can leave the employer anytime or they can let you go at any time. And I get it, it's business. I'm not mad about being let go or being laid off. What makes me angry is how these companies do it. And a lot of the times you might think that layoffs just come out of the blue. But I have proof that it's completely the opposite. If you are told that today is your last day here, somebody knew months before, weeks before, and you're generally the last person to find out. And the reason why I say that is I used to work for a manufacturing company for 3 years. And the way the office was set up, I sat right next to the director of human resources. And these were cool people, good people. But we would see patterns that would happen every so often. I would say probably 5 or 6 times a year, where most of the time, the office setting, everybody was jovial, joking with each other, all that type of stuff. But there would come times where there were weeks where the human resources director and some of his representatives just were not as talkative. It was almost like there was a dark cloud over that whole department. And while that would go on, we would also notice that they were spending pretty much all day in the conference room in meetings back to back to back. And every so often we would see them going back and forth, pulling employee files. And every time we would walk past that conference room, we would see that stack getting taller and taller. And then eventually, sometimes days later, sometimes weeks later, they would start calling employees into the conference room.
That's tough.
And letting them go one by one.
That's tough.
And like I said, I understand that it's business, but when you look at the human component to it, what bothers me is I've seen that there are guidelines to how to lay an employee off, when to lay an employee off. And in those cases, these employees had no idea that it was their last day up until that last day. And there are studies that you can pull up on Google that show the best times to lay off an employee is going to be late in the day so that they don't have to walk past their other colleagues and save them the embarrassment or the shame. Or that later in the week is the best time to lay off an employee.
They don't work
so
all day.
that they can deal with the anger
like
and
that,
the
bro.
shock over the weekend. So they can go into that
I ain't
next
never been
week
laid off before, though.
starting to look for other
Been
jobs.
fired. Never been laid
But
off.
the one thing that I noticed during that time period that made me think that it's not only a lack of human compassion, it's almost disrespect, is that when they would call those employees in to lay them off or let them go or what have you, they would bring the security guard to walk them out. And if you're talking about shame and embarrassment, I don't know anything else that's more embarrassing than that, that's more disrespectful than that. And I'm not saying anything against the human resources department, because like I mentioned, most of these decisions are coming from top down, and human resources is pretty much sworn to confidentiality. They're just following orders. But to the people that are making the decisions to lay people off, to let people go, I don't think they understand what the ripple effect is to that. I mean, this person has to,
Person could be
in an
living check to
instant,
check.
figure out how to go home and tell their spouse or tell their family. They have to figure out where their next paycheck is going to come from. They probably have to start polishing up their resume and start applying for jobs. And that's not mentioning the mental impact that it has on somebody, especially the longer that you've been employed for a company. When they let you go, you feel lost. Your confidence is shot. There's so many things that happen, which is why I feel disgusted by corporate America at this point in my life. Now, when I got let go, it wasn't as humiliating, but I still felt insulted. And the reason why is because I've been in human resources for almost 15 years. I've seen dozens and dozens and dozens of layoffs, terminations, and I know what the process looks like.
Y'all ever
So
been
I
laid
can
off?
read the signs pretty well.
If y'all have, comment
And
down below. and
the
tell
day
me
that I got
how'd
laid
it
off,
go.
it started off with me
Or
getting
what'd you
online
do to get
at
laid
about
off?
8
Or is the
a.m.
business still there?
and I was working for like an hour, and then all of a sudden, at 9 o'clock
'Cause I was thinking
or
if a,
around 9 o'clock,
if a
I
company
had
starts
gotten
laying
a
off, that
random
means they need to
meeting
cut
thrown on
costs
my
or
calendar
they not doing so
from
well in the
my
business or something.
manager's boss. And mind you, this person
That's what I
I
always
have
thought.
never had a one-on-one conversation with my entire time working at the organization, the whole time. And the meeting was titled Quick Catch Up. So as soon as I saw that, I knew that that was my last day. I understood that. The thing I didn't like about it is that meeting was scheduled at 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and it was 9 a.m. So as an employee, I was supposed to sit there on pins and needles, wondering what the meeting was about up until 4 o'clock. I don't know. For me, that wasn't what I was going to do. So I emailed my manager's boss, and very respectfully, I just asked, hey, is there an agenda for this meeting, or can you share any details so that I can come prepared? I didn't get a response for maybe about an hour. And so with that said, I texted my direct manager, my boss, to see if he could tell me anything about this impromptu meeting that got dropped on my calendar. And I'll read you the exact text and his response to show you the reason why I felt like my intelligence was insulted. So here's my text to him. I said, hey, it's Justin. Hope the PTO is going well, and sorry to hit you up on your day off. I had an impromptu meeting hit my calendar this afternoon for a quick catch up. Might you know if all is well, or is my position at risk? So I was even giving them an out to just let me know, just treat me as a human being. Is my position gone? Now here was his response to me. He said, hey man, no worries, and I don't know anything about that. I can ask, but also might be a skip level. And a skip level is just a meeting with your boss's boss. Said I can ask, but also might be a skip level, as I know he mentioned doing more of those. Let me see if I can find anything out. Now, with all this, I'm not implying that my manager indefinitely knew that I was getting laid off that day. But I feel like, based on my experience, it is very seldom
Dog,
that
that's
a manager does not know
crazy,
that their
bro.
employee is about to get let go. And so I don't know.
The
I don't.
crazy thing is,
This
it
is
happen
very
every
personal.
day,
I'm
bro.
not sure
Every day.
if you'd be open to sharing your
And ain't
stories
nothing you
about it
could
in
do
the
about it,
comment
bro.
section. But I would be
They can let you
curious
go
to
like
hear if
that, bro. You
anybody
can't
has
sue
had
them or do
similar
nothing, bro. It's just over
experiences
with.
or have ever been laid off or let go in a similar type of fashion. Now, ironically enough, what happened shortly after that is that my manager's boss emailed me back and said, "Hey, are you available now?" And so the meeting that was originally scheduled to happen at 4 p.m. got moved and was going to be happening in 10 minutes. And as soon as I got on the call, I saw him and I saw one of the HR representatives. And I already knew what it was going to be. So I was really just ready to wrap it up and call it a day. Now, I want to make it clear that I don't have any ill will against anybody who was involved in the process of me getting let go. It's really the corporate structure that I have problems with. Now, the reason I'm sharing my story is not to complain, but to give fair warning to people who might be working for large corporations that no matter if you've been working for that company for 20 minutes or 20 years, and no matter if you are an associate at the floor level of a company or a VP, you are dispensable. There's really no way around it because everything is driven by profitability. And on a P&L sheet or a balance sheet, you represent an expense. And if things are not looking good for shareholders of that company that they report their earnings to, your job is at risk. And it doesn't matter how dedicated you are. It doesn't matter if you're a top performer. It doesn't even matter if you've built good relationships with the people that you work for or leadership. At the end of the day, you're dispensable. So I know, at least for me, I've reflected on this and I'm not built to continue this pattern of giving my all to a company, being loyal, working nights and weekends, sacrificing all my time to work on projects and reports and all that type of stuff, to just have everything that I did erased and have to start all over again. And so I really started looking at different ways that I could avoid being in that position ever again. And what it comes down to, and what I personally believe, is that we should start looking for ways that we can build self-generated income. And that's where YouTube came into play for me. See, I started
Yeah,
my
it's
YouTube
always good to
channel
have a
2 years
backup plan,
ago.
bro. Some type of
And
side
the original
hustle.
idea that I had for my channel is nothing like what it is today. I was just going to be playing video games and uploading my gameplay. And that's what it was going to be. But I started seeing that people kept using the phrase creator economy. And the creator economy is describing anyone who uploads content, whether it's on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, and gets paid for that content. And one of the stats that stuck out to me was that Goldman Sachs reviewed and analyzed the creator economy and forecasted that it was going to double in size to be worth over $500 billion by 2027. And another stat that stuck out to me, and this is more specific to YouTube. Now, obviously, Google owns YouTube, and YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. But YouTube is getting over 1 billion hours of watch time on a daily basis and 5 billion videos that are watched every single day. And for those creators that understand the art of getting people's attention, they're making a full-time income creating content and posting videos online. So I kept looking into how exactly creators are getting paid. And what I found out is there are two main ways that I plan to use in my strategy in my business to make money on YouTube. The first way is through advertiser revenue. And what that means is anytime that an ad pops up when a viewer is watching a video, there's a company that is paying for that ad to be placed there. And so anytime that somebody watches that ad, then some of that money that the advertiser is spending will flow through to the creator themselves. But there's a couple of problems with ad revenue on YouTube. And one of the biggest problems is that no two creators is getting paid the same amount of money for their content. One creator could be making $2 for every 1,000 views they get, while another creator is getting paid $20 for every 1,000 views they get. So you could stand to make a lot less or a lot more money. Let's take my channel for example. The first paycheck that I received from YouTube for ad revenue was nearly $800. And more recently, I've been learning about the art of getting people's attention, and I posted a couple of videos that have gone viral for my page. And each of these videos have nearly 300,000 views apiece. And from ad revenue alone, the next check that I'm going to be getting from YouTube will be nearly $2,500. And the thing I think is even more problematic is that not every creator is eligible to receive ad revenue from YouTube. In order to do so, you have to be accepted into the YouTube Partnership Program. And in order to do that, your channel has to have at least 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours accumulated of time people spent watching your content. And that's not easy. I mean, to be honest, most people give up before they even get close to 1,000 subscribers. And that's why I think that the second way that most creators
We almost
are
there,
making
chat.
money
We gonna get there.
is
Make sure
much
you
more
like,
beneficial,
hit that subscribe button,
and that way is
hit
called
the post
affiliate
notification bell to be
marketing.
notified when I post.
And not a lot of people
so we
talk
can get
about
there.
affiliate
Watch
marketing
all my videos.
in depth.
Watch the whole video.
But from a base
Watch the whole
level,
video.
affiliate marketing is when you refer a customer to a company to buy that company's product or service. And once that customer spends money, then you, as a person who referred them over, would then get a commission or a flat rate of pay or some type of payout for making that connection. And it's a very simple process. I mean, all you have to do is go online and apply to become an affiliate at a place like Amazon or Walmart or Target. And in exchange, they will give you a referral link. And that referral link you can place in the description of your YouTube videos. So anytime that somebody clicks on that link and purchases something from those stores, then you get a commission from that. And over time, as you start building a content library, videos that you created months ago or years ago can be snowballing, making you affiliate income so that you can take back more of your time while doing things that you're passionate about. And the best thing about affiliate marketing is you don't have to have any sort of following. I mean, you can technically start a YouTube channel today, post your first video today, and if somebody clicks that affiliate link and purchases something, you can start earning money today. And there's a lot of different affiliate programs out there to where your earnings could be uncapped. But as an example for me, I work with one program to where if somebody bought a very inexpensive item, I could be getting paid pennies for commission. But I have another affiliate partner where if just one person signed up, I would get $200. And I'd get $200 for every person that signs up for their service. So affiliate marketing is going to be the main way that I look to make money on YouTube and start self-generating income. But I'm not going to be the guy that tells you that you can get rich overnight doing this. I'm actually telling you that you can't get rich overnight doing this. And it's a process that builds up over time. I mean, I was just looking at my first affiliate payout that I got from Amazon Associates, and it was $4.31. I mean, that's nothing to get excited about. $4, like, what are you going to do with that? But the strange thing about it is that when I saw that payout, I got more excited than any 5-figure or 6-figure salary that I got from working a job that I couldn't stand, because it was proof to me that I could self-generate income. And if I just stick with it, I can start pivoting away from relying on a 9-to-5 job or a corporation to cut me a paycheck. Now, from that time, I learned more and more about how to be more effective with affiliate marketing, to where one of my affiliate partners within a 90-day span cut me a check for nearly $2,000 because I was able to continue to refer people over to them to buy their services. And because my channel is all about helping people make more money, so they can eventually become their own boss. I documented every single step that I took to help me get more views on YouTube, help me get more clicks on my affiliate links, and help me start self-generating income. And I put it in a very simple step-by-step walkthrough. And that walkthrough I'll be releasing in the second week of July. So if you're interested in starting to build a form of self-generated income so that eventually you can start to work for yourself
We ain't doing
full-time,
no promoting, my boy.
I'd encourage you to click the link in the
We ain't doing no promo, my boy.